Hi people, Fisaya here. Welcome back to my channel. On this channel I talk about faith, lifestyle. I also review books and magazines. Hope you are doing well. I want to especially say thank you to my new subscribers. I'm super grateful. I appreciate your support, your stopping by to join the Fisi fans. And also I also want to thank my returning subscribers. You all just keep me going, and I just very grateful. So this video is in response to one of my subscribers questions, and is all about giving birth in the UK. Let's get started. So she wanted to know how difficult it was, what she needed to know, what she needed to do. Obviously, she doesn't live in the UK, and she just wanted to know everything all about giving birth, prenatal and antenatal care. I actually have a video about my shocking experience. I'm going to link the I'm going to put the link in the description below, and it's over 4,000 views. I'm very grateful, and it just shows how much that video has gone in terms of answering a lot of questions. And as a result, I've had more questions from that video, and one of the questions is what I'm going to be addressing today. So that made me do the video, and apart from that, I just thought it would be a good idea to do another video about the giving birth, kind of a series, not really, but a video here and there, just to clarify anything that I've left out of the previous video. So like I said, I'm going to put the link in the description box, so you might also want to check that out. That video just tells you about my shocking experience of what happened to me when I gave birth. So I'm not gonna spill the milk, like they say, or spill the beans. I'll leave it to you to go and have a look, and then you can decide for yourself. But here I'm going to talk about the prenatal care, the antenatal care, and actually the delivery. So once you test positive for either you're pregnant, congratulations. If you haven't, keep hoping it's going to happen. Okay. And so what I did with my first child, which kind of what I did for my previous ones, I went to the GP. They call them GP, so they're general practitioners, and it's just kind of a name for the surgery. Some people call them the surgery, some people call them the GP. So I mean, the first time, for a story actually, when they said I had to go to the surgery, I'm like, no, I don't need to go to the surgery. But later on, I found out that that's what is actually called. So if you're going to the UK, I don't know what it's called in different parts of the world. Let me know what it's called in your country, whichever country you're watching me from. So like a house or a place where people go to see the doctor. Anyway, so I went to the surgery. Obviously, you have to test with the home kits. You can buy them in any pharmacy, and if you don't have it, I mean, to be fair, I think I didn't think I'd even tested. I think I just went into the surgery. I went for a different appointment, and I think they wanted to check something, and then they decided to check if I was pregnant or not. So she tested. She asked me to go and you pee in a bottle or a cup, and then you have to dunk the test, and then it tells you positive or negative. So I think I actually found out from the GP or the surgery, but after that time, it was me finding out. Obviously, when you miss your period for a while, you can know whether you're pregnant or your period is just late. Okay, so when I found out, there's some tests that also tells you how far on you are, like I think the clear blue and all of these pricey ones, they tell you how far you are in the pregnancy. And if you're not sure, just think of when last you should have had your period and you haven't. And if you're not sure, don't worry, just give it a couple of more months and then you can book an appointment. So what I did was I booked an appointment with the sonographer. So the sonographer are those that are going to scan your baby and see is it growing well? And they might, at that point, they'll also check if your child has Down syndrome, or if he has any other disabilities, and they'll, obviously in UK, they'll give you the option that, okay, do you want to keep the baby or you don't want to keep the baby? So especially if it's a life-threatening one, or if they see that the baby is not going to grow into not going to have a normal life. But obviously they are human beings. Some people have decided to terminate the pregnancy, and some people have decided to keep the pregnancy. And sometimes they're just miracle babies. They come out, better than what the doctors envisaged, or the sonographer, or maybe just as they thought it would be, maybe a condition, and then they're just able to manage it with one or two things. Okay, so sometimes the sonographer will tell you, but I think after a while we're not allowed to share details of the results of the tests with you. They will refer you back to the surgery or whoever has booked the appointment, because they feel that that's the best person to share the results with you. So once they do that, you get, in fact, very funny, sometimes at the 12 weeks appointment, or whenever it is after 12 weeks, you can have your baby scan photo, my first photo, that sort of thing. And it's also a very good treasure to keep. Always go to the hospital with some money, especially when you go for your scan, because some hospital will offer you for a fee, and some will give you free of charge. Okay, so just go with money. It's always a lovely thing to keep, and you can show it to your children many years down the line. So after that, you get to, they book you up with a midwife, and then you have like in my case, we had like a group of women and men, obviously, and parents, intending parents, that sort of thing, gathering together and going through the phases of pregnancy, the trimesters, what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, and exercises to do and the ones to avoid, and also your diet, especially if you are suffering from maybe morning sickness, or you have other conditions that are attached to pregnancy. I think some people have gestational diabetes and some other things, edema, swollen legs, and from there you can share experiences. You have new moms, you have first time and second time moms, third time moms, fifth time moms, 10th time moms, if depending on the group of women that come together to form that group in your antenatal family meetup. And in some cases, it's just one-on-one with your midwife. They check you hear the heartbeat of your baby, you hear how clear it is, and you also meet other parents and you talk about how you're feeling. It's always a good thing. I think with my first child, it was on a Friday, so it was something I always looked forward to. Although story in another video, suffered a lot of morning sickness, but anyway, and so it's also always a good time. You go there with your questions and everything. It's a fantastic system, at least the one I experienced. I know some people are not as lucky as I am, but I'm grateful to God where I lived. They were very top notch and very good with their services. And if there's a problem, they communicate with you, whether by phone call or emails, or they post a letter to you. So fast forward, when the baby is here, and your antenatal care, they make sure you're comfortable, they make sure you're okay. And they ask you, as you're birthing, they give you a lot of, tell you, don't worry, you're doing well, encouragement, baby is coming out, the head is here, that sort of thing. And they allow the man, your husband, to cut the umbilical cord, like in my case, I think my husband did. So it was just a very wonderful experience. And they move you to a different place so that another woman can come in, and then there it's like your postnatal. They check you, make sure you're fine, they help you with breastfeeding. If you're struggling, they give you formula milk if your child is not maybe willing to drink at the beginning, so they give you formula milk, and then just to so the blood sugar of the child does not drop. They make sure you're eating well, and then they also make sure you're well enough to go home. I mean, if you're not well enough, they will not discharge you. I know that at some point in the UK we had overpopulation, or people that it's just like just come in and go out. But luckily, when I had the child, my first child, it wasn't the case. I mean, where I lived as well, it wasn't a case of me being rushed out, of the hospital. It was more of me wanting to leave, like, I want to go home. Okay, so, and after that, they also assign they call them health visitors. They assign them to you, and then they come to your home to check you. They bring a scale, they measure the baby, they weigh the baby, they measure the baby with a tape as well to see how, well the baby is growing. They also give you a book called the Red Book. For some reason we call it a Red Book, because it's red, and in there you have all your child's details, all your details and everything that they need to know. So all your child's immunizations, all your child's jabs will be in the Red Book. So if you're going for any immunization or you're going for anything, you have to go with the Red Book. Okay, so, and then after a while, once you're settled, if you have a CS cesarean section, it's a different thing. They have to check if it's healing properly and all of those things. And once all of that is out of the way, what next? They introduce you to maybe play groups when you're well enough and your child is well enough to come out. You go for play groups. They do reading and singing to babies, lullabies, teaching you. It's such a fantastic experience. I know a lot of things have changed since me giving birth, but that was my birth story, from prenatal to antenatal. And antenatal, prenatal to postnatal, excuse me, to postnatal. And it was a very good time. And luckily, I know, even though I live in the diaspora, my aunties and uncles, they all live very far away from me, my parents as well. But luckily, I had a good network system. The church was very, very supportive. And my husband was very, very supportive as well. And I mean, it's just good to be part of a community. Before I say, oh, I'm hungry, there's food, people will cook food and bring to me. Some people will buy clothes for the baby, will buy clothes for me as well. And, just things that I would need naturally as a new mom, they gave it then to me. Okay, so it was a very good experience. I'm very blessed that I was able to have, things on a positive side of things in the UK, from my prenatal to actual delivery and my postnatal. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Let me know if I still haven't touched one or two things, but I'll definitely link the other video of my shocking experience in the description box. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, before you go, don't forget to keep going, keep moving, and don't stop. I'll see you in my next video.